Masterful Slaves. Satanists acknowledge the fact that there are those who naturally are leaders, and those who are followers. There are masters, and there are slaves, and quite a few shades in between. Satanism can be a great launching pad for those who are realists to see where they stand in their level of personal achievement, and to rationally decide how to advance themselves in whatever manner they choose. They also have the option to not advance themselves, but to enjoy whatever level they have attained. The old saw about a group being all chiefs and no Indians is certainly one that has found a new lease amongst nouveau Satanists. They are simply not being honest in their self-evaluation, a practice that all but guarantees their failure to work magic of both greater and lesser varieties. The self-aware individual evaluates his position with ruthless accuracy. And if he has the desire to attain a higher level, then he makes the efforts to do so by exercising his talents. The observation of the development of how an individual sees himself is a strong indicator for marking his true journey along the left-hand path. What many fail to grasp is that there is no requirement that one must move to a higher echelon. As long as one has contentment and is enjoying one's life, we Satanists place no moral value on the stratum to which one belongs. Being what you really are and procuring pleasure is the goal that Satanism helps one sustain. There is no obligation to push yourself in a direction that does not come naturally, and true Satanists don't lord it over others whom they perceive to be of a lower rank. It is a fact when one considers the vast population on this globe that there is a strong likelihood that someone will come along who is brighter, more learned, more talented, more accomplished, and in some way have bested you in an arena that you have as a personal pursuit. Screaming that one is always top dog is a sure sign of insecurity, as well as ignorance of actual Satanism. Competition with one's own prior achievements is a healthy stimulus for self-evolution. But the final goal is to be the best you can be, and not have unrealistic images of what one should become. Self-satisfaction is the desired result, not constant internal strife. Similarly, many neophytes read about the LaVey personality synthesizer in the Satanic Witch, and then make moral judgments concerning where they should stand on that symbolic clock, often misjudging their actual position, and thus ignoring that there is no ethical verdict placed on any clock position. Satanists come in a remarkable variety. Not all are innovators, or fearless leaders, or dominant individuals. In fact, it takes a real Satanist to appreciate the few who do have those abilities to create and lead, and to enjoy what these people have to offer without feeling any need to try and outdo them if such is not natural to himself. To think that activity/dominance is good, and that passivity/submission is bad, means one has fallen into the false dichotomy of dualist thinking. Satanists see the need for polarity, the necessity of opposites that provide the tension that leads to the flowing of the current inherent in all things. The necessity of opposites that provide the tension that leads to the flowing of the current inherent in all things. Both are part of existence, and neither is preferable. Among Satanists, it is natural to find some who embrace the principles of this philosophy and do not feel that they have the capabilities to make their own horizons. as Nietzsche defined a characteristic of his superior humans. These honest individuals have the choice to personally and wisely select their masters, and thus to guarantee that they will get the beneficial guidance they desire. Unlike unwilling slaves, they are also free to switch masters should they so choose. Few are honest enough themselves to make such a decision. All authentic Satanists exhibit genuine confidence and personal power, using it to determine the courses of their lives to whatever extent is possible in the society in which they live. They explore and ascertain their strengths and weaknesses, and do not flinch from adapting to best meet their needs. There are times when masochistic individuals, oblivious to their own natures, are attracted to Satanists, antagonizing them in an attempt to goad them into exercising this real, not postured power. Each Satanist, as LaVey explained, is an Epicurean sadist. And when such masochists approach, the Satanist often says no to the symbolic request for a beating, thus turning the masochist sought-after eustress into distress. But the Satanist's option to say yes also exists, and he can then provide the masochist with the requested beating, but only if it also gives the Satanist satisfaction. These are subtleties, and the misdirected masochist should preferably find a loving master willing to dispense the desired disciplinary actions in the degree that will gratify the masochist's needs. An enlightened satanic masochist will find a satanic sadist. And each can engage in the tango of mutual satisfaction, wherein the one asking for fulfilling pain controls how much is administered by the figure that outsiders would mistake to be a controlling party. The truly self-aware satanic individual will earn the attention of mentor masters who can give the needed directions if they are the types who treasure being in that position of power and responsibility. The polarity here is natural, elegant and fulfilling, and no bottom need feel lesser than the top. For the flow of gratification cannot continue if both sides of the equation are not present. The student fulfills the teacher's need to instruct. In time, the student may become a professor and have his own pupils. Flux is natural. A slave can actually dominate the master, and such is well known in the sexual subculture of bondage and dominance. But the sagacious Satanist knows that these principles apply far beyond the bounds of lust, and so will be truly free from placing a value on such a label. He will grasp that to be satanic is to be beyond such conventional judgments and naive assessments. To be satanic is to be beyond such conventional judgments and naive assessments. He is satisfied with himself and honest in appraisal, and will seek out those of equal wisdom and sovereignty. Under the aegis of Satanism, the masterful slaves and the enslaved masters will meet and continue their eternal dance.